Okay, so tonight I am going to answer the question that I know everybody or every woman has when they're going through their awakening. And that is, how can I fully drop in to my divine feminine and actually survive? So the first thing that I want to say is that it's not crazy wondering that, it's not crazy asking that question, and that's because you're already tapping into your divine feminine energy that doesn't create in straight lines, right? She isn't linear, she spirals, she breathes, she pulses, and she moves from stillness, intuition, and flow. And without a healed inner masculine energy by her side, her spiral keeps getting interrupted. Her creativity gets compressed, suppressed, and then you feel pressed to start producing again, and you find yourself judging that productivity. And that's when we get back into those unhealed masculine energy loops of overscheduling ourselves, fixating on making money, feeling urgency to act before it's actually feeling aligned, and sabotaging inspiration with pressure. Another big one is that we feel guilty for resting, for waiting, for not doing enough. And this isn't just women. Actually, this is men as well, because we've both got these energies within us and they both have to be in balance within us as well. So if right now you are feeling that squeeze, feeling squeezed by time, responsibilities, your schedule, even your own thoughts, when you've set that intention, I want to drop into my divine feminine energy. I want more ease. I want more freedom and creative authenticity. But it's feeling stacked up against this desire to scale your business. I'm talking to the spiritual entrepreneurs here, the business people in an awakening, because an awakening brings us back to our truth, and that inevitably makes us want to go take that out into the world, right? We are here to impact others. We're light workers. But this desire to drop into the feminine energy, then scale an income or maintain an income, just feels impossible against each other, right? In this old world, you have been in the experience of trading time for money, having clients, equaling money, doing what you know to bring in money. But the true divine feminine, she doesn't work like that. So I'm going to talk into this today in this video, and if this resonates what I'm talking about already, just know up front that you're living in a reality where your inner masculine energy hasn't been restored to its sacred role. And the truth that I've learned going through my creative rebirth and balancing my masculine and feminine energy is that you can't actually do business with this unhealthy masculine energy and embodying your divine feminine at the same time. It's impossible. And this might mean letting your business die so that it can be reborn, like I have. And because of that, I know that the money stuff is just fear, and in surrender, you're absolutely supported. In surrender, you'll see the illusions that you have, and you'll see how things work themselves out without you even having to do anything. No force, no intervention. It's literally about surrendering and trusting. And it's actually this surrender and trust that allows the divine masculine energy to rise. You don't actually have to fix your masculine energy. You just have to surrender it. Invite its devotion of your inner feminine. by embodying your truth fully. When you choose stillness, softness, and creative expression over and over again, and actually fully believe that you can lead in this way as well, your field, your energy field becomes the invitation. So I'm going to give you a few journal questions just to write down now to start. And they're simple questions, but just take a little bit of time to answer them. Ask yourself where you're not leading in your feminine energy, where you're actually still trying to lead with force instead of love. Ask yourself where you're still pushing and proving and performing. And finally, ask yourself where you can become the frequency of what devotion would respond to. So creating without attachment, for example. This has been huge in my business shift, in my creative rebirth, just creating for the sake of it and letting go of all of those attachments to it has to make money, it has to lead somewhere. Resting without guilt, also been huge on this journey of mine. Speaking without needing a reaction. So again, it's speaking just because. You're not speaking attached to an outcome. You're speaking from heart all the time. And that also leads into the final one of expressing without censorship. We have a voice. We're here to use it. And when we can let go of our fears, we do use it. And we're not afraid of the consequences when we are expressing in love, in compassion, right? And without judgment. So all of these things anchor you in the sacred union of your inner energies. Another tip I'm going to give you right out of the bat is to literally clear space, energetic space, material space. This could look like an hour in your day with no to-do list. It could look like gifting yourself a session each week at a breathwork class or a yoga class if you don't do that already, and choosing rituals over routines. This signals to the universe that you're no longer relating to your masculine through control, but through this beautiful invitation. I remembered today something that I once heard, which was that the divine masculine devotes to the divine feminine when he is no longer wounded. And it kind of echoed yesterday's remembrance of Horus in my video yesterday, where, before his full initiation into his healed divine masculine energy and sacred union, he fights to prove his strength, right? But after his surrender, he's humbled by love. He's humbled by Hathor, by her beauty, by her presence. And this is the same within us as well. Your masculine energy doesn't need to be stronger. It needs to be invited to rise. Not in instinct, but in this beautiful devotion to your creation. So if right now you're on this journey of dropping into your divine feminine energy, male or female, and it's coming up against that feeling of pressure, it's coming up against a feeling of urgency or guilt, this video is your reminder. You're not doing it wrong. It's just that your spiral has no safe space to land. Your beautiful inner divine feminine creation cannot spiral when your inner masculine energy is still judging that creation, rushing that creation, forcing almost like the proof of the worth of the creation through its productivity. And here's the raw truth that I had to swallow as things changed. As things changed, my business changed drastically. As I dropped into my feminine energy, I couldn't run my business like I was before. I had to let go of things. It was like my energy, I physically couldn't go there. I couldn't go to the tasks. I couldn't launch the programs. I couldn't coach the clients. And it felt like I was failing. But ultimately, I realized that I was just outgrowing a structure that was never built for my kind of power to thrive. I was trying to fit this sacred energy like into a system that was built to extract, not receive. The feminine is all about receiving, and she doesn't exist to be extracted from. And she only creates when she feels safe, seen, supported, not like supported, but has this safe container of the masculine energy within which to create. And your divine feminine does not want you to abandon your business. She wants you to remember that your presence is more magnetic than a plan. But here's the key. You can't embody that presence. You can't activate that magnetism when your nervous system is still running on masculine metrics, which is my productivity, creates my value, my worth is attached to that productivity. You know, you have to rebuild your entire rhythm around resonance, how you feel, how you're vibrating, where your frequency's at. Coming back to ritual, like I say, not stiff routines, structures, this happens here and this happens that way. More, again, coming to the heart first and making moments sacred again, including those moments in your business. And ultimately trust, not ticking off tasks, forcing through the resistance that you feel energetically so that you can tick off the tasks, actually trusting that if your energy is in resistance, those tasks don't need to be done. You've got to stop trying to collapse the loop from within the loop and take one sacred, almost rebellious act. We talked about this in my other video, in my previous Beyond the Matrix series, about what truly makes the matrix dissolve, right? It's choosing not to recreate it. So this is one act of beautiful, divine, feminine, radiant fucking refusal. A complete flip of choices. Celebrating the sacredness of your soul, your moldy first. Because from that state, you hear the next aligned action. You're not working from a plan. You're not working from a strategy. It is moment by moment, breadcrumb by breadcrumb. And it creates alignment. And in this alignment, you're not just ticking off tasks. You're actually collapsing timelines. You're shifting in frequency, and you will shift your reality. So as I realized my business was not dying, it's shedding a skin, I dropped into an acceptance that yes, this may look like less money for a little time. It may look like slower weeks. But this is where I also realized, like, if I let it die, then what rebirths in its place will be so rooted in who I truly am that I know, and it already doesn't feel like business anymore. It's my joy, it's my love, it's my passion. And from that place, I'm starting to see how everything I need comes to meet me, because this is the power of resonance. So this is where my work comes in. It's not mindset. It is no longer business coaching. It's restoring divine patterning through sound to rewire your nervous system to trust. Frequency medicine to activate the memory of wholeness in your body. Sacred breath and movement to balance your inner structure and learn to flow. And also sexual energy transmutation to awaken this sacred power within without shame and in the most magnetic way. This is going to support all of your awakening, because in that sexual energy transmutation, we're burning through the blocks that you have. We're burning through those limiting beliefs, limiting programs, which actually allows your divine masculine energy to rise in love, not fear. Because fear creates instinct instead of space. that beautiful, healed, sacred masculine energy holds presence and protects the spiral. And from there, you can begin to create without limits. So if you have been feeling stuck or like you're not doing enough, just breathe. Know that you actually don't need to do more. You just need to let that masculine energy rise, and not to dominate, but to devote to your beautiful inner divine feminine, so she can remember how to spiral again. Let me know in the comments if this speaks to where you are. If you want support restoring the sacred union within you, I do have an absolutely free app with an incredible method on it called the 7x7 method, and it's my free practice to restore frequency alignment and begin creating from your truth. You can grab the link in the description below, and if you've enjoyed this video, give it a like. Subscribe to my channel. I'm posting videos every day for 30 days called the Beyond the Matrix series. I've done it through the last few days of having a stinking cold and not feeling very well. So I'm going to see this out to the end. Good night.